Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back to another numerology video. I am a professional numerologist and we'll be talking about life path numbers. So I'll be showing you how to calculate it. It's pretty simple, and I'll be going over life path numbers 1 through 9 and 11 and 22 master numbers to talk about the purpose of each life path. So just to begin, how to calculate it. So it's pretty easy. I'll use my birthday as an example. So what you do is take your day, your month, and your year of birth and divide that all up into single digits. Then you sum them up all again. So let me show you the example. So I'm born 28th of November 1994. So what I did I took 28th, so that's 2 plus 8 plus the 11th month, so there's 1 and 1, and then plus 1994, which equals 35. And the goal of numerology is to reduce everything until a single digit, unless it's a master number. So 35 is not a single digit yet. So I took 3 plus 5 equals 8. I'm an 8 life path. So that is how you do it. And if that's still confusing you too, you can always Google what is my life path number and you'll get a really quick answer. So we will begin with the number 1 life path, and then I'll go in order from there. Just to also explain what the life path number means, it is central to your life purpose, your life mission on earth, and the life path number reveals what fulfills you the most, as well as your traits, your personality, your life lessons, common careers, and how to develop into your potential as that life path number. So we will begin with the life path number 1, and I'll put in timestamps if you're on the YouTube video itself, the source of this video. I'll put timestamps so you can find it. So life path number 1. They are the leaders, the innovators, the pioneers. They're also artistic in a way. They're the originals, and they are here to work through issues of security and creative energy. So security, what I mean is to feel secure within themselves, because this is a number that they tend to live a life that is different from other people, or they think differently, or they look differently. They could be a different sexual orientation, or they could just live in a different country from their hometown, and they're working on accepting themselves for who they are, and they want to control their own destiny, but they have to work on being courageous with what they do and accepting themselves for who they are. They're pretty much here to be fearless leaders. And it doesn't necessarily mean, oh, you're here to lead like 1,000 people and like be on stage and whatever. A part of leadership is to be different, so that's how leaders stand out. It's not a life path number that is here to follow the crowd. I don't think they will be very happy if they're continuously following what people tell them what to do. And they're actually here to imagine new things, start new paths, introduce new ideas, and venture out to the unexplored. You'll likely see them start trends as well. So think of Steve Jobs, who's a 1 life path. They're not here to be lost or influenced by crowds of people. They're actually really, really good at adjusting and adapting. That is their strength. And once they are in that, once they're very confident with that, then they help other people adapt to new ways of living or new ways to think, and as well as bringing the best out in others. And of course, they have to bring out the best in themselves first before they can share that, before they can guide others to do that. So that is the number 1 life path purpose, here to lead. Now, moving on to the number 2 life path. So these are considered the lovers, the peacemakers, the mediators, and the diplomats. They are here to love and to be loved in return. So their primary source is in feeling. So they must feel in order to hear their intuitive voice. That is their gift to use, because these people, they can easily read other people's needs, what other people want, maybe other people's motives. 2s are also here to learn to cooperate with others peacefully and harmoniously. So these people, like I mentioned, are mediators and peacemakers. they avoid conflict. Conflict is not their nature, so they easily go with the flow. They're happy to as well, but they have to be in a crowd of people or a group of people that's very good energy. Like these people are sensitive to energy. So they are really here to support and assist other people, as well as provide complementary partnership or alliances with others. Their biggest mission on Earth is to create meaningful connections and to really teach humanity that we're here to relate to one another. We're here to help each other. We're not isolated individuals, not like one life path, but everybody has a different purpose, right? So overall, they are here to show humankind that we are founded on working together. So that is the to life path. And also, since these people are very sensitive souls, they can get very much involved with healing work that requires intuition and support and patience and tenderness. They're also very good at reading detail and going over detail and just recalibrating, working with restoration as well. They may have interest in getting to know the psychology, and health as well. So really, you need these people to really ensure the success of others, and they're pretty much also happy to serve a dynamic leadership. They're here to serve a larger cause. And now, moving on to the 3 life path. 3s are known as communicators, creative communicators, humorous, optimists, comedians, and a divine child. So what I mean is, like, they're very childlike at heart. They are here to accomplish the art of speaking or expression or communication. So that involves learning a lot of lessons to use their word to either uplift, instruct, or teach others, versus belittling, condemning, criticizing other people and all the wrongdoings of society. And these 3s, they feel at home when they are on stage. Like, the world is their oyster, the world is their stage. Most of the time, I find that a lot of 3s have issues, or they're working through issues of feeling shy, or they don't speak fluently, and it comes from a feeling of self-doubt, like, I'm not prepared enough, I'm not qualified enough, who's gonna listen to me, who's gonna watch me? And that comes from childhood, of even if your parents loved you a lot, maybe you didn't get enough applause for your performances or your artistic gifts or your thinking mental capacities. So really, they're here to shine bright, doing some kind of performance, entertainment, writing or speaking, or just anything creative where they can really connect their thinking or their analytical side and express their ideas and emotions intuitively, as well as they're here to honor their emotions. They also have maybe an interest. I find that a lot of them have an interest in therapy or counseling or advising other people, and to help others go through, remain optimistic through difficult times. Like I said, again, they're like the comedians and the jokers and the children at heart. So that is the 3 life paths. So let's move on to number 4. So these 4s, they're known as teachers, builders, problem solvers, and experts. They're here to achieve stability and security, starting with the basics. So that means with home, with family, with finances, with health. It's all about creating stability and security at the foundation, starting on the ground. So they are here to really deepen their roots, just like a sturdy tree, in order to grow steadily and securely. So these people are also very logical. Education would do them very well. And they're also here to demonstrate strength in emotions, in their mental strength or physical strength as well. I find a lot of them being physical trainers, as well as working and constructing. And earth materials are, they really enjoy earth materials or working with their hands, because they also know how to intuitively fix things. Very grounded, practical type of people. Their life lesson is to follow a process to achieve their goals. That involves learning to be patient, learning how to prepare, to be persistent and resilient. They're also here on their way to achieve their goals. They have to really balance being practical. That means following things step by step. And once they succeed with that, then they know how to teach other people to succeed from step 1 to 100. On their mental side, they tend to have very they can be, but overactive minds, like so much thinking, analysis, and it would really do them well if they go out into nature or just simply get some peace and quiet. Like these are fours, they're very hardworking, they're workhorses once they know where they're going. And overall, they're very down to earth. They're here to work with practical reality on how to succeed. So that is the 4 life path. Moving on to the 5 life path. These people are known as adventurers, storytellers, detectives, natural detectives, as well as freedom fighters. They are here to master self-expression without being restricted. And they're also here to experience liberation, and that could be in any level, any form. That could be sexual freedom, emotional freedom, mental freedom, as in imagination, social freedom, did I say that? Financial freedom, or literally physical freedom, like the ability to travel wherever they want, whenever they want. It would be on the superficial side if they think it's constantly changing things. But the freedom, genuine freedom, is actually the freedom to express and to live life to the fullest. That is the 5 purpose. They do have lessons with extremes that involves going from dependency to being independent, from lack of discipline to self-discipline, and also overindulgence versus self-control. So, for example, many of them could just, if they want to enjoy life, they could just like eat, like binge and just like enjoy, and be just the sensual feeling versus knowing when to stop. Their purpose is to experience what freedom means to them. That could be through any kind of exploration. They're here to really teach other people or to share with other people their depth of experience. You will find a lot of them having a lot of crazy, wild stories. They have a wild side. They're the wildest life path. And also through their travels and their variety of interests, they're also here to really show compassion to other people. And that's what happens when you travel a lot. You have understanding for humanity more. So that is the purpose of the 5 life path. They're here to create change and to explore and to seek freedom, as well as teaching other people how to find their own freedom and passion. Moving on to the next life path, which is number 6. So for number 6, these people are known as nurturers, visionaries, healers. Their purpose is to help society evolve using vision, seeking truth, seeking justice through personal growth, or really educating other people about human consciousness. They're also here to advance spiritually and help other people advance spiritually. On the part of their life path, they're here to master the balancing obligation and their highest priorities, starting at the home. So a lot of these people, they're very motherly or fatherly. You feel very taken care of and safe in their presence. But a lot of these people, they will have issues with giving or helping until it turns to a fault, or giving until sacrifice. So they really need to know when to balance and remain in the center. So if you see the 6 symbol, it's just like seesawing back and forth, learning how to balance. 6 life paths also believe in a strong family unit, strong relationships, and nurturing their relationships. Having that in their life is essential to their happiness more than any other life path. These people make the most effort into getting to know the relationships in their life, that whether that be parents, siblings, neighbors, friends, romantic partners, as well as business colleagues. They are on the mission to improve themselves and others. So it's like if you're friends with these people, if you become very close, you tend to go on a self-development journey with them. And sixes, with that, adding to that, sixes, they need to learn how to accept themselves instead of constantly trying to improve who they are or other people. So really facing issues with perfectionism. And so at their highest with six life paths, they lead with vision, they accept themselves and society in the present moment, and they also see the big picture. They're working with their wisdom, and they're also inspiring hope and change for a better world. So that's the sixth life path. Moving on to the seven life path purpose. So sevens, these people are known as faith seekers, truth seekers, analysts, philosophers, scientists. They are here to learn to trust in themselves, their light, their wisdom, and their destiny. So that could involve having faith in religion, having faith in their abilities and themselves, or having faith in a higher order. When they do reach that point, they can use their understandings about life to teach other people. They tend to be very practical guides, like philosophers for other people. When they when they finally trust, they are a light to this world. Their gift is to share their self-discoveries, their deep insight, as well as their wisdom. They have when achieving that, I wouldn't even say the word achieving, because sevens are really like gentle, angelic kind of people who they attract rather than forcing things. Their lesson is to learn to trust and to be open instead of hoarding all their light, instead of hoarding all their knowledge and their wisdom. So their biggest drive is in the internal self, of self-discovery, more of the internal world, trying to understand that, maybe something deeper that they are a part of, instead of really focusing so much on the material world. That's for 8 life paths, which we'll go over next. 1/7s are evolved. They are really here to learn to have profound faith or trust in their mind, in their emotion, in their body, in the universe, and even themselves. They're also inspired by spirit, and when they mature, you really see that in their life, they're here to go on this journey back to God, back to source, back to perfection, because 7 is repeated in the Bible a lot. It's the most mysterious number. Here to learn stillness, possibly. So that is the 7 life path purpose. Moving on to the 8 life path, which is quite opposite of 7. 7 is internal, 8 is material world. So 8 life paths, they're known as the CEOs, executives, the material manifestors, the judges, and they are here to establish financial security and spiritual freedom. So back to the financial security, I mean abundance. So if you look at the 8 infinity, they're in the middle, balancing material wealth or material accomplishments, money, power, success, with the spiritual world, which is feeling full inside and being inspired by the spirit to give and to share and be generous. They will have a lot of life lessons dealing with money, with their own power, such as standing up for themselves or letting people abuse them or walk over them. They also, other topics they are here to learn with is influence and recognition. Like, do they stay out of the limelight in fear of, I'll just intimidate other people from my success, and learning how to influence people positively to serve the world. They're also here to learn abundance, and at maturity they learn to transcend abundance, learning that the source of all abundance is from themselves, and to really seek to feel grateful, as well as counting their blessings. So with money and power, before they climb to the very top of the mountain of success, they have to come into peace with their ambitions, with their beliefs about money, with their beliefs about power, and success, which is central to their purpose. And maybe eights who tend to be more on the spiritual side, if they hear this, they'll be like, oh, I'm so disappointed. Why is my life path so like superficial with all these topics? Just know that if you have a lot of money and power and influence, you can use it to better the world. Having a lot of resources, resourcefulness is a very positive thing. When eights are at their highest, or when they're matured, they are wealthy, whether that be modest or whether that can be shown. They're also here to demonstrate their power. It could be very unassuming as well, but they're very like dignified. They have a very strong will, and they're also unattached to abundance, knowing the illusion of money. And once they feel so abundant inside, they will share it to the world, whether that be sharing money, wisdom, knowledge, education, time, energy, or their heart. It doesn't have to be about money. So that is it for the 8 life path. Moving on to the number 9 life path. So these people represent the endings, enlightenment. And because it has all numbers 1 through 8 in it, so 9s, they are known as guides, sages. They're natural leaders and humanitarians. They are here to learn, live, and lead with integrity and wisdom. And when I talk about integrity, it's like union or alignment with their heart and their mind, alignment with their words and actions, they match. And leading by example is a huge part for them, instead of preaching, like just only being a spokesperson about all these ethics and values. They have to live by it in order to teach it with integrity. They're also here to really trust their heart and their wisdom and free themselves from society's opinions of how to live or who to be. And at maturity, they are inspired by spirit. And once they are inspired by something higher, that could be higher principles, spiritual laws, universal laws, then they become a source of light for other people. They become guides. They hold this like this philosopher with a lamp. So it's kind of like the 9. They share very much similar with the 7 life path, but the 9 is they're out of their cave and they have their light shining. So also, they, with them maturing and teaching by example, to think of Gandhi, then they inspire other people to make a difference in the world. Like, this is the most selfless number, doing a lot of charity work and nonprofit, very involved with nonprofit organizations as well, or just desire to make humankind better. So that is the 9 life path. 2 more life paths I'll go over is 11 master and 22 master. So 11 master numbers. So when I talk about master numbers, it does not mean that they are better or they're more gifted. They just have a different type of purpose. And with double 11 or double 2, they have that single digit repeating twice, double the intensity. So, and as well as, so with that intensity, they have double the potential to really change humanity, as well as double the potential to fail and fall very hard. So there's pretty much an equal of everything. So starting with the 11 masters, they are known as spiritual leaders, inspired healers, inspired artists, and master intuitives. They're here to guide and inspire humanity through using their artistic gifts, through music. It could be through one-on-one connection, or using culture to connect all of us. Their domain, or the fields that they are likely to be happy to be involved in, it tends to be in personal growth or spiritual upliftment. So they must be working in areas with people that inspire them, or an environment that inspires them. With the double 1s, they have double, so like the 1 life path, but with the 11, they have double the lessons with security, self-esteem, and self-confidence. So if it's double, and they don't know who, if they don't know who they are, then they just follow the crowd and they try everything to impress their peers, when actually they feel very inferior because they keep comparing themselves. On the positive side of that double 11, they're using their vitality, their physical energy to inspire other people and to express their skills artistically or intuitively or by feeling. So at maturity, 11s are very secure within themselves, and they are cooperating with others while respecting their own boundaries. And lastly, they are inspired by the creative spirit to raise human consciousness. It's the most spiritually inclined number, 11. Then lastly, 22 master numbers. These people are known as master builders, expert teachers, and creators of the future. They are here to help humankind build towards a brighter future, starting with the solid foundation and through following a gradual process. That can be mastering any field that is involved with art, in business, in politics, or humanities. They're all 22 masters I've met. They're really, really mastering their craft, and they end up being educators. I've met some that have been like authors at the same time that they're doctors, as well as building clinics and just pretty much educating universities. They tend to materialize things faster than the average person. It's a very hard life path number to duplicate because it's very much about achievement in the material world. But they're here to really use their achievements to benefit day-to-day life for humanity. And with that double 22s, they have the life lessons double the intensity of 2 life paths. So with a 22, first, they're here to cooperate with themselves, their needs, respecting themselves, as well as and then the second 2 is learning to cooperate with others to help them build the future. When a 22 is maturing, they are very in tune with their power, which means they're demonstrating their strength, resilience, endurance, and fortitude, and they're making significant contributions to everyday life, as well as helping humanity progress practically through stages towards enlightenment. So that is the most, I would say, way more practical and more grounded than 11s. So that is it for the life paths 1 through 9 and 11 and 22. I hope you enjoyed that. If you're looking for more information, check out more of my videos on YouTube, as well as reach out to me for any private sessions. Have a beautiful day, everybody. Until next time.